Brady and Kirsten. So according to Kirsten's social media pages, these two are still going strong. She decided to dye her hair like a reddish color, and she showed off this tattoo that he got of her name on his neck right behind his ear. And she said, you'll find him next to me. And she got his name tatted as well. Kirsten got to have her sexy time in the hotel with Brady after he was released from prison, so she's happy about that. But because of that, he's now running late to the halfway house. Brady said that the sex was everything that he could dream of and more, and Kirsten appreciated it as well, but she did mention that it was brief. He was a minute man. And a recurring theme I seem to see with these prisoners is when they get out, they're a minute man. Which is kind of good, though, because if the guy came out and lasted like an hour, I definitely would be side-eyeing them. Like, what were you doing up in prison? Were you building your stamina, or what is going on? But now because of that, they're running 2 hours late to getting him back to the halfway house, and he's freaking the hell out. He's trying to call his PO and let them know what's going on. They're not answering. And honestly, like I said in my last video, I feel like he never even asked for permission to begin with. Like, how are you as an inmate before you get out of prison? How are you going to talk to someone and be like, oh, hey, can me and my girl go have sex real quick? I don't think he did all that. I think he just pretended he asked just so he could get Kirsten to calm down, because he knew if he didn't do that, then she was going to pretty much ruin the whole day that he got out. And she even admitted that she was going to do that and pretty much have a meltdown. So he did that, and now you can tell because he's freaking out so much, trying to rush and get back in time. And I think he didn't think it was going to take as long as it did. Since they had to take that detour to have some sexy time, I think Brady is starting to regret it, and he's starting to think, was it really worth it to risk going back to prison? Because with him being 2.5 hours late, there's a good chance that they pull up and his parole officer or police officers are just sitting there waiting for him to arrest him as soon as he gets there. I mean, it's one thing if you're a few minutes late, but 30 minutes late, and then on the way there, Brady's trying to take pictures and videos, I guess like the semi got in this wreck and tipped over on its side, so he's taking videos of it to show his PO to be like, look, this is why I was late. Okay, that may be excused to be maybe 20-30 minutes late, maybe 45 pushing it, but that's still pushing it. But 2.5 hours late, yeah, if that was his PO, Brady would have some explaining to do. And he was sitting there freaking out because he said he got 6 years off his first offense. And with him getting that much time, he knows that if he screws up again, they're just going to be like, look, you're going to get 15 years minimum, because they're sick of his ass. And they're going to think, okay, obviously 6 years wasn't long enough for you to learn your lesson. So they'll really stick it to him. And while he's sitting there stressing out in the car, he decides to call his daughters. And his daughters were really happy to see him. Apparently he has twin daughters. And they're like, hey, do you know which one is which? Because he hasn't seen them in so long. And luckily he was able to tell which one was which. And then he had to get off the phone with them because he wanted to try to call his PO again, but he said his PO's phone wasn't even ringing properly. So he's sitting there getting all irritated, and Kirsten's getting all irritated, and she's like, I don't know why the hell you're all mad at me. But let's be honest, Kirsten was driving slow as hell. It's like she was taking her sweet ass time, taking the scenic route there. Like, I know you want to spend as much time with your man as possible, but your man has places that he needs to be. Then we're going to learn more about Brady. He opened up and revealed that when he was younger, his father really wasn't in his life. Like, he was in and out of prison, getting in trouble, living the kind of lifestyle that Brady has as an adult. And Brady hated drugs as a kid. He swore up and down that he would never do drugs. He tried to be big into school and sports so he could stay away from getting in trouble. But as a teenager, you know, a lot of people who end up start using drugs or partying, they start going downhill as a teenager because those years are so impressionable. And when you're around bad influences as a teenager, either you end up becoming a product of your environment, or you rise up and rise above. And as an impressionable teenager, he ended up becoming a product of his environment. After he decided to try to call his PO one last time, because he knew if he talked to his PO, that would help him calm down, and maybe there wouldn't be officers waiting for him when he pulls up. But once his PO didn't answer again, all this stress was starting to take a toll on Brady's physical health, to the point that he had to have Kirsten pull over, and he was throwing up and everything because he was overstimulated and all this was too much for him. And that'd probably be me if I got out of prison, like dealing with all the cameras and all these people watching me, and then you got the stress of the being late to the halfway house. Yeah, that would be hard to deal with. So after he was done throwing up, Kirsten got back on the highway and they sped to the halfway house, and hopefully when he gets there, he's not in too much trouble. Next, let's talk about Dia and Cyrus. So the big day is 1 day away before Cyrus finally gets out of prison. So Dia is at her house, she's getting ready, and she is preparing for his release, and next thing you know, she gets a call from Cyrus, and she thought it was just going to be her and Cyrus once he was released from prison, but he informs her that he invited, I think it was his brother he invited to come to the release too, and she's feeling some type of way because she thinks this release is supposed to be all about her. If I was her, I want to be making a big deal out of it. I'd be like, okay, yeah, if your brother wants to be there, that's fine. I'll let him see you for a few minutes. If he wants, he can go out to eat with us or something. But then after that, I want my time with you. I want the rest of the day with you. And if you want to hang out with your family, after that, that's all you. I would have just communicated that with her, but she was like, no, I do not want the brother there. She started calling his family members, and she was letting them know that she did not want his brother there. And I guess that's starting to cause a lot of tension between her and Cyrus before his release. And then the next day, the big day's here, it's time for him to get released. So she shows up, and the brother's nowhere in sight. So I'm like, okay, did the brother end up coming, or was this just a storyline? But anyway, she's the only one there for his release. And finally, he comes walking out. And if I was Dia, I would have still been looking for Cyrus after he came out, because this man looked nothing like his damn pictures that they were showing us. Like Love After Lockup, I know they photoshopped the hell out of these mugshots that they show, you know, like in the little intros with everybody. But damn, did they Photoshop the hell out of his pictures. He looks so different. And I know Cyrus knew that deep down, because he even had to tell Dia, oh yeah, do I look good? Do I look like a catfish? You promise I look good? Because you can tell that he has those insecurities about what she's really truly thinking about how he does look. He's missing a tooth in the front, but she said that's fine with her because he let her know ahead of time. But I don't know, this man just looked completely different. I guess it's the hair that really threw me off, because usually he has short hair. And like all the pictures, even the pictures they're showing us of him in his younger days, were so different. I know, you know, as people get older, they look different, but damn, you look like a completely different person. I'm curious what you guys thought about Cyrus when we finally did meet him. But yeah, she ends up meeting him. She's over the moon. The brother was nowhere near in sight, and they decided to leave. And then we're gonna get to know more of Cyrus in the next episode. We did learn that Cyrus was locked up for being a felon in possession of a gun. I believe that was his charge, and he said that before he went to prison he was just a straight piece of shit. He was robbing people, he was doing whatever he had to do by any means to continue using, and he was a crackhead, he admitted. And being a crackhead is expensive. It's like one of the most expensive habits, because you can sit there and spend like $200-300 and it'd be gone in 30 minutes. Like I used to know crackheads back in the day, and they'd sit there and spend thousands of dollars like in one day, like it was nothing, like what Mama June and Gino used to do back in their heydays. And he said that, yeah, he was a piece of shit, and I can't help but wonder if him missing his front tooth was related to him being a piece of shit in prison, you know, because if you try stealing from people and being a piece of shit in prison, you're gonna get punished, and it's not gonna be pretty. So I couldn't help but think that, or if maybe he had already lost his tooth before. But either way, she seems to love it. She's excited, and yeah, she already has her kids thinking that he's their new daddy, and I don't know, it's just disappointing because she's brought her kids so much into this mess already and got them so invested, and this dude's already back in jail. It's like, damn, you got your kids all attached to this dude who obviously didn't change his ways, because if he ended up getting out and got caught with drugs and shit like that, obviously he was still doing bad while he was locked up. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.